Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cancer February 2022 mid-month love reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So welcome everyone. This is normally my mid-month engagement reading where we take a look at how you are engaging your authentic self with your external environment. But this month, because of Valentine's Day, we are focusing on love. And I've enjoyed doing these readings so much that I think from this point forward, I'm going to incorporate a love reading each month from now on. All right, so what we're going to do here, all of my Cancers, is we are going to be taking a look. First, I'm going to be pulling a card for kind of the overarching message around the energy of love that Spirit would like you to engage with. And we're going to take a look. Now, all of my readings focus on helping you see the meaning in a challenge or challenges you are facing and why Spirit would like you to overcome them, what you are learning and unlocking about yourself and your unique path and purpose. And that's going to kind of be what we're looking at here. What Spirit is asking you to engage with in the energy of love, and perhaps a challenge around that. What does Cancer need to know about the energy of love for the month of February? Let's see here. I hope you guys are all enjoying a good February. Here in the United States, we have Valentine's Day just around the corner, and I hope you're all looking forward to something special. I know that it can be somewhat of an overly commercialized holiday, but it's always a great excuse to just remember the importance of working with the energy of love and showing others around us that we love them. All right, what does Cancer need to know? Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. So you have past life relationship. You have known each other before. Very interesting that this comes through here. So now, whether or not you believe in past life experiences or not, there is something here about with you have known each other before. I get this kind of intuitive feeling that there is a depth to a relationship you are in currently. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to pertain to just romantic partnership. This could be something where this could be between you and a child. Maybe you just had maybe you're a new parent, and there's something about the relationship in the loving of that child that is coming through that is a deeper connection. Or maybe you're experiencing this with a family member, or even in the work environment. Sometimes we don't know when we will meet people who we connect with on a deep level that we can't quite understand. It's that person that you just kind of click with immediately, and you feel like you've known them your whole life. And there's something around that type of relationship coming through. So we're going to kind of dive in here and see what Spirit would like to illuminate for you around an important relationship right now that you are engaged with. So let's see, we're going to pull a card here for the concept of curiosity. So we're going to see what Spirit would like you to stay open and curious about in the energy of love for the month of February. And I'm going to take a look at courage and what Spirit would like you to have the courage, where Spirit would like you to have the courage to take action for the month of February for love. And then I'll pull a point of reflection, kind of the underlying theme of love for the month of February for you guys. And then I'll pull some clarifier cards just to see if there's any additional messages that want to come out. So we have like attracts like. It says, if you long for more love, be more loving. And the number 2, beautiful. The number 2 is a number of harmony, peace, working with others from a place of equality. This is really interesting. So when it says like attracts like, if you long for more love, be more loving. This is a beautiful reminder of when we're thinking about those type of relationships where it does feel like we meet somebody and it's like, whoa, I feel like I've known you my whole life. Again, whether this is a romantic partnership or whether this is us seeing the face of a child we've just given birth to, there is something around where to be curious. There's something around the energy of stepping fully into embracing who you are and being able to show that, because the more you are authentically you, the more you show basically what you would like in return, the more you attract those kind of soulmate, those kind of relationships where you feel deeply that that other person just knows you, just gets you. But we have to open ourselves up to that. So this would be, imagine how difficult it would be to have a relationship, to actually have that feeling of I've always known this person. If you enter that relationship and you share nothing, nothing of true vulnerable value about yourself. Instead, you kind of just allow the other person to share or open up or to show you love in some capacity, but you kind of remain blocked from that. This is saying, in order for you to attract those type of deep relationships, you also have to be that person. You have to show yourself as that person so that the other person can then come to you and show you the same. There's a little bit of a mirroring effect here, but I love that the energy of the number 2 is coming through. Again, that element of peace and harmony. And, you know, I'm just looking at this picture, and there is something about, you know, some of you, you know, it looks almost like she's looking at like a little mini version of herself and then another little mini version. And there's something around possibly some of you, this may be a child. You may have a child in your life right now that you feel this way around. But again, to be curious, the more you love, the more you give, the more you kind of dig deep and allow that vulnerable part of yourself. And Cancer, your sign is the crab. Sometimes you can hide that vulnerable, soft part of yourself underneath your hard shell. And there's a feeling here of waiting to see who comes in and who is this kind of, I'm getting this soul tribe feeling coming in. Who are you going to attract the more you put out that soft part of yourself? The more you show love and you really dig deep and take action from there. What are you going to bring in for you? I really like that like attracts like. Again, if you want, well, I guess I'll take these. If you really want that soul tribe, you have to show yourself as part of that soul tribe. Okay, so for action, where Spirit would like you to have the courage to take action, we have 3 cards that came out. We have true love. This love is once in a lifetime. Number 30, breaking down to a 3. I love that, the feeling of divinity coming through. Romance. It says, lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. And the union of hearts. A love connection defies explanation. Number 28, breaking down to a 10, further breaking down to a 1. And then we have this is number 25, breaking down to a 7. Beautiful. Wow. Very powerful cards coming through here. So true love, this love is once in a lifetime. Romance, lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. And the union of hearts, a love connection defies explanation. And again, this may be that feeling of really taking courage to show love, to take action from a place of love. And when you're thinking about having the courage to take that action, to show that vulnerable part of yourself, there's a reminder here. This love is once in a lifetime. And whether this is, again, between you and a sibling, or you and a parent, or you and a child, or you in a romantic partnership, there's something around this that defies explanation. And that's okay. We don't need to know everything about everything. That is not possible. So this month, when you're feeling like maybe it's almost like it's too good to be true, or you can't believe you're actually experiencing this deep of a connection, Spirit's asking you to dig even deeper and really lean in a vulnerable, highly vulnerable way to that feeling of love and showing love and support to another. And really be excited and curious as to what that's going to attract back to you. Okay. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and see what's your underlying point of reflection around the energy of love that Spirit would like you to be aware of. So I kind of just get this feeling that you guys are going through, we're thinking of a challenge, that maybe you guys have felt a little bit like you maybe don't have that tribe, or you're trying to figure out now where you can kind of put yourself out there a little bit more vulnerably to attract the right people to you. And I think this is really where Spirit's saying you don't have to go out and seek it. You just have to embody that feeling of love. Be who you are naturally and unapologetically, but vulnerably, and you're naturally going to bring those people and those experiences to you. It says, love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. Number 43, breaking down to a 7. 7 for me is that number when we are working with Spirit, when we are standing in the faith and confidence of co-creating with Spirit, which is interesting. So I'm going to read this one more time because it's just such a beautiful message. Love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. A great point of contemplation and reflection to move through February, that love does endure. Just because somebody is maybe not in our presence anymore does not mean that we do not feel their love. And I think that's something really important to understand, that love connections can defy explanation. And this is where we can kind of get a little bit into that feeling of, where you are thinking about somebody and suddenly they text you. A little bit of that crossing letters kind of thing, where we realize that we don't understand the true makeup of our life experience, because there's so much that is meant to remain a mystery. But the one thing we can lean into is understanding that the deep connections between people, which are founded and based in love, do endure, and we do experience them outside of time and space. It's a beautiful, beautiful message. Okay, so Cancer, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull some clarifier cards here for your point of where to take courageous action, where to really lean into this feeling of this kind of once-in-a-lifetime love, a love connection that defies explanation, and really leaning into the faith of that, to use that to give you the courage to take action in love. All right, 4 of Swords. So it's a moment of rest and reflection. This is where we are taking a look at past pain and the stories that perhaps are the stories of others that we bring on ourselves, and where we get to find our truth in that, our truth from the truth and the hurt and the pain of others. All right, the 8 of Swords is when when in our minds we think we can't see a way forward. This is where we can feel a little trapped. And maybe some of you feel trapped in that you can't. Okay, so the Queen of Wands and the 9 of Wands. Okay, so the 8 of Swords is where we perhaps can't see a way forward. And I'm seeing here with the Queen of Wands and the 9 of Wands, the Queen of Wands is a very powerful card. This is a card of where we understand that when we take action from a place of passion, we are able to almost work with magic in our experience. And the 9 of Wands is the card of the kind of weary, wounded warrior. This is when we have come so far and we know we have just one more kind of hurdle to jump through, one more point of action to take before we close out a cycle. But this is where we're kind of gathering that courage to do so, where we're like, oh, I've come so far, this is exhausting. And this is that kind of beautiful reminder of, you are the queen. We are each the queen in our own lives of understanding and being able to harness the magic of our passion. And sometimes that can seem hard for us because we have been continually taking action, and it's like, oh, it's like I can't do anymore. I've done so much. But there's something around here, around when I'm seeing these 3 cards with the 4 of Swords above it, there's something around kind of having a point of reflection right now around those who kind of feel trapped, those who maybe can't see a way forward to tap into their own magic. And understanding that sometimes we have to let that go. That this is a card that we reflect on, again, the wounds of the past, stories that, and even burdens in a mental place that we carry forward with us. And this is where we get a chance to reflect on those and to see, okay, these are things from the past. I have my one sort of truth now, so that when I come out of this point of reflection, I am coming out stronger and with more clarity as to who I am and really what I stand for. And there is something around this kind of realization of either you realizing that it's just one more step forward and you get to end a cycle and step into really harnessing this magic, or you're realizing that this is a dynamic that you get into, this dynamic of feeling trapped, and maybe you feel like you're the one that's constantly having to pick up the pieces or take action for others. And it's a beautiful reminder that at the heart, you have your own passion and you have your own ability to manifest. And you don't have to kind of carry the weight of others. I don't know why I'm feeling that coming through, but there is something about that, of really not having to. There are always going to be people who can't see the way forward. And you might have been this person at some point. But I get this feeling that you kind of understand now how to get past that. And I'm going to actually I want to pull a couple more clarifiers for the Queen of Wands here. There's something around that energy. It's almost like you guys are one step away from understanding your own magic. One step away from seeing a way forward. Oh, that's too many. Okay. Wow. King of Cups in the world. Okay. There's something about an ending here. There's something about the world is when a full cycle has come to an end. And we have learned all the lessons we need, and we stop and take a moment to pause and rejoice and to show ourselves fully vulnerably. That's why in the World card, usually the person who is depicted there is nude, because we are able to go forward as we have nothing to hide between ourselves and the divine, because we have learned our lessons fully, and we have, with confidence, taken action to complete that cycle. And with the King of Cups coming through, now some of you, this could be dealing specifically with the energy of a Scorpio in your life, but there is something around. So the King of Cups can be the spiritual advisor. This is somebody who really knows how to take action from a emotionally empowered place. And there is something here around the closing out of a cycle, around, and I'm hearing Scorpio, so for some, there's going to be just a couple of you. Well, yeah, as I dive into this more, we get a little bit more specific here. There is perhaps some of you who have been dealing with a Scorpio, or somebody who has that in their chart, and that there's a closing out of a cycle around that, and that in kind of allowing yourself to understand how far you've come, to understand this is a closing out of a cycle, that you are the Queen of Wands. You are stepping into a place of personal empowerment, and that she is the one that can see a way forward because she can create the way forward. She's also the one that is not the weary, wounded warrior, because she knows she doesn't have to, she can walk away from those 8 other wands and she can just move forward with her one wand. She doesn't have to kind of hold up all that she's been through as a point of, I have to protect all that I've been through. I have to almost show this as like my pride. My pride is knowing what I'm capable of after what I've gone through. And so there is something around this of closing out a cycle of, also I feel maybe stepping up into that higher elevated level of your own superpower, Cancer, which is tapping into your intuition and really almost stepping up into and allowing yourself to deeply harness the power of the spiritual advisor, to harness that power of connecting through your emotions to the divine and allowing yourself to understand that that is your magic. That's really coming through. So I hope that there's a message in there for a few of you. But this is a beautiful reminder that love does endure. Love is a connective force that defies, truly defies understanding and explanation, and that you're really being asked to step into that energy, harness it, and use it to attract others to you and that are going to support you, and that you in turn can support them. All right, Cancer, I hope you all have a wonderful February. And if you would like to illuminate your own personal spiritual importance and to see how it can be of service to yourself and others, you can click on the link in the description box below to book a personal reading or a one-on-one coaching session. And if you'd like your personal reading to focus on love, by all means, go ahead and write that in the notes and I can go ahead and do that for you. And I will be posting the release dates for March's illumination readings next week. So if I don't see you until March, have a wonderful February, Cancer.